Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to create this beginner level flag flying animation in the app Hipaint. So I'll be giving step by step instruction, tricks, everything you want to learn. So don't skip the video anywhere. And before we starting, if you're new to my channel, please check out all of my videos. You can find so many useful information from each and every video. And if you want to be very specific about the app that you want to learn, then go to the playlist and you can find a separate playlist for all the apps. So let's get started. So here I'm going to use Hipaint for my animation. So compared to the other app like Infinite Painter where we don't have animation, and IBS Paint X, here Hipaint is best for animation. So here I'm using 3:4 ratio canvas for our animation. So here it's going to be, we're going to create a GIF, and it's a flying flag animation. Along with that I will show you how to add background details, how to do all those things. So first, on the first layer I'm going to apply the gradient. You can find gradient tool at the top panel, tools panel, and I'm using blue color, so I just selected blue color and then click the gradient tool. Then I'm adjusting the panel, so on one side it's going to be transparent, or you can tell white color because I have used white color in the background. So on the next layer we're going to apply add details like buildings which is far away from us. So I'm going to use the pixel brush, and I will also share the brush details on the top left corner, also on the description, so you can check all the brush that I have used. And here I just reduce the size of the brush to add some variation in the size of the building. I'm not concentrating too much on these building details, so it's going to be like a cellulite, and it don't have any details just other than the basic building shape. So once we are done with it, because it's going to be far away from our view, so our focus is on the flag which is going to fly, and mainly we're going to concentrate how we can make it fly. So that's the main thing about this video. So yeah, if you have any gaps like that you can fill, and once done, just you can switch on the lock transform, because why am I going to use this is because I'm going to apply some gradient effect. Instead of using gradient tool, I'm just filled that shape, and using the sketching brush to be pencil brush, I applied smooth soft airbrush like color, mild blue color. And on the next layer I'm going to add C. So for C it's going to be milder blue, and on that I'm going to add some waves on it, so like this. So you can go for both darker and lighter color like this. Here and there we don't need to add too much details because again it's going to be just our background. So first of all I'm going to add all the background details, and then I just going to create a group, and I'm going to add all the layers inside that group so that it acts as a single layer, single frame for us, which means in animation we call each layer as the frame or each group as a frame. So here we're going to use the group. So this group, background group, acts as the first frame which is going to be on the background. So we're going to switch on the background option for that, so it will be permanent for all the frames behind. So yeah, almost done with the waves. Okay, now we have done the C details. In the new layer, I'm going to add road along with the grids. So behind the grid there is ocean. So we are creating the view like that. So using the ballpoint pen brush along with the rectangle tool, I just created this road detail, and then we're going to add grid. So for adding grid, I'm going to use the line tool. So I'm switching it to line tool, adding lines, place it horizontally, 0 or 180-degree. Then we're going to add vertical lines, one by one. Okay, done. Next we're going to add some shading effect for that. So I'm using lock transparent pixel option. Then I'm going to choose the brush. So you can go for either medium nozzle brush or 2B pencil. So here I'm using 2B pencil. If you want to have some texture in it, then you can have medium nozzle, or if you want to have just an airbrush mild like shading, then you go for 2B pencil. So only on one corner like this, one side of that line like this. So other side of that line going to be like a shading, shadow. So it's going to be dark, and one side it's going to be light. And then we are increasing the size, and I'm going to add a little bit of gradient effect here, very mild. Now we are done with the background, and if you want to add cloud, you can go back to the layer behind the building and add clouds. You can find cloud brush here itself. So I'm using this brush and white color to add cloud. So keep the opacity minimum, keep the brush size bigger, and add details. Then increase the opacity of the brush, reduce the size, and add smaller highlight details. So again, it's going to be milder, not too much. Our focus is on the flag. Okay, done. Now at the top of all the layer, I'm going to create another layer, and on this layer I'm going to add the pole for that flag. So pole, we know that it's going to be like a rod or steel iron rod, something like that. So I'm using light gray color. And if you want it to be thicker, even after creating the line, you can make it thicker by adjusting the size of the brush like this. Now I don't want this much at the bottom, I just erased a little bit. Then I'm drawing the rectangle, like 2 steps for that pole. Now again another rectangle. Now I'm going to add some details for this. So to draw details, add details, again I'm not going to use any clipping layer. Instead I'm going to switch on the lock transparent pixel. Why I'm more with the lock transparent pixel is because when it comes to animation we naturally use so many layers, and if you add clipping layers for even the background, it's going to add too much load for the app to work on. So keep the things minimum as much as possible for when it comes to animation. Since it is a basic animation with just few layers, there is no that much issue. But if you're working with a bigger project, bigger animation, and if you are working with too many details and background or animation details, then definitely lock transparent pixel going to be a lifesaver for you. So here I'm using medium nozzle brush because I just want to add some texture to these. As I told, when it comes in front, like the far things going to be without too much details, and the elements or the art details which are on the front going to have more details on it. So I want the texture to be visible, so I'm using this medium nozzle brush, and also on the steps. Now for the second step, if you try to do without selecting the area, it will be difficult for you. So you can go for lasso fill tool and select the shape, and then you can add details like this. Now just release the selection, and next, everything done with the background, we are now going to do the animation process. So before that, these are the background details, so I just click on this group option. You can find like a third option from the right, and just drag one by one all the layers. Go for the bottom layer and drag it inside the group, and keep on doing that from the bottom so that you don't mess up with the order of the layers. So it will be easier for you. So if you just go for the top layer and keep on dragging inside the group, all the top layers for the background will become at the bottom, so you have to rearrange them. So better go for the bottom layer and drag it inside. Next, and here I feel like I want to move it a little bit to the bottom, the pole. So I'm using the transform option tool to move it. So now we are done with the background. We are going to create the animation. So on the top of the group, here I just created a first layer for our animation where I'm going to draw the flag. So for the reference of the color, I'm using the reference panel and imported the flag color. So here it's the Indian flag, and anything similar to the tricolor flag, or even with two color flag, or with basic just like a stripe detail similar to this, it is easier for to create such flag animation. If you're working, trying to make such with American flag that contains too many other shape details, stars, it will be little bit difficult, but I'll try to create another animation video for such flag. But here the Indian flag just have stripes and one Ashoka Chakra at the center, so it will be not too big task for us. So here at the top I just created a line, wavy line with the color on the top of the flag, and at the bottom I used the green color, same, just pick the color from the flag and just created a wavy line similar to the top wave line. And at the center I'm going to draw the same waves with the white line. Again one more line. Now we have to fill the lines with color. And also on this side. Now we have to drop the color, so using the color drop option, just choose the color, drag like this, saffron and the green color. Now we have created the flag, and the Ashok Chakra will do a separate layer for that later on. So just we have the flag here with the basic steps. Now I'm going to keep this as reference, so I just duplicated that layer and I'm going to use this layer. Now go to animation and create animation, click on the create animation. Now I just have the group where we have the background. I'm just going to rename the group as background, because after this we are going to create so many groups and it will be confusing for us to find the background. And here on the first layer, as we told, as we have a flag. Now you can see it looks like a very big flag. You'll be confused why you should have such a big flag detail. So I will tell the technique now. So on the upper layer I'm going to mark a line, which means the edge of that flag. So let me go for pink color. So I just use the pink color, and now this, no, I'm just duplicating once again. I just deleted that flag layer because I want to move it little bit on the left like this, so that we have so many frames for the animation. Now it's good. Now I'm going to duplicate this and hide one for our reference purpose. Now we have marked that pink color line, so that's the end of the flag. I will let you know why we need that. So I just duplicated. Now I want these to be at the top forever, so I just use the foreground option, so that when you switch on the layer as a foreground, it will be on similar to the background. It's going to be on the front forever. So just I'm going to move this flag for each and every frame. I just kept the pixel size of this movement as 20 pixel and clicked right side direction 2 times. Now you can see a little bit of wave variation in the flag compared to the previous one. Now I just duplicated that layer once again, top layer once again, and just placed 20 pixel option and moved 2 times. Same process again and again till the end of the flag, like all the flag on the left side going to reach the pole. Till that we're going to do the same process. Just duplicate the previous layer, click on the transform option, go to the move, See, keep the size as 20 pixel and then just move 2 times, or if you want more faster, like only few frames, then you can increase the number of pixel that you want to move, or you can simply just move using your hand. But moving the details using your hand may end as error, because sometimes the flag may move top and bottom, so it will be difficult for you to fix it later on. So I advise you to go for this transform option. So here you can see it almost reached the pole, and we have almost, I don't know how many layer it is, more than 10 layers I think so. So now this is the corners, two corners of the flag. Now for each and every layer, so I'm on the first layer, first frame, then I'm going to the leaf eraser and I'm going to erase. So for erasing, I'm not going to keep it straight like this line. I'm going to have some waves on that so that it looks wavy while flying. So if you don't want too much visibility of that stripe, you can reduce the opacity of that layer like this. And now we have made wavy erase, we have erased in a wavy style. Again, for this left side also I'm going to have some wavy cut, but make sure the top and bottom edge of that flag touches the pole, because we're going to add some knot for that, tying knots, so that it is attached to the pole. So for the next frame, again same process, just erase it like this. Now go for the next. Just make, for each frame, just add some variation to the wave so that it looks different. We have at the wavy details which is wearing on the top, you can see on the flag, and on the left and right of the flag we're going to have some wavy cut so that it have more movement while animating. So after finishing this erasing process, you will understand how it looks, because now you may doubt why I need to make a wavy cut. So after finishing, you will understand better. As I told, keep variation for that wave for each and every flag like this. Okay, we have done almost. Now if you play, you can see how it moves, and you can see the corners have some movements too. That's because of the wavy cut that we made using the leaf brush. So yeah, we are done with this. Now we have to move on to the Ashoka Chakra. So for adding the Ashoka Chakra, you can see I'm going to use the blue color and I'm going to draw the circle, all those things using the symmetry ruler. So just go to the top layer. We don't need this stripe layer anymore, so I just deleted that layer, and make sure you switch off this foreground and then delete the layer, otherwise it will be visible though you have deleted the layer. Now I'm going to draw the Ashoka chakra. So for drawing that, just create a layer on the top of all these. It's not going to be stationary, we're going to make it move as well in the wavy style. So I'm going to make some variation for each and every frame. I will tell you how to do that now. So before that, we have to draw the basic shape. So for drawing basic shape, I have used the symmetry ruler, kaleidoscope ruler with division 12, so that we have 24 lines altogether. I have choose that color and draw the basic circle, outside circle, and here I am using the ballpoint pen brush, and inside I will be using the bleed brush. Now I want it to be a little bit thicker on inside. Now release the symmetry and duplicate it. So again I'm going to keep one as reference. Before that, I'm going to reduce the size of this, place it to the size which matches the flag, center white area, place it at the center of the flag. Now we are done. Now I'm going to use this layer as the reference, so I just duplicated this once again, hide one of it as for reference purpose, and going to work on this. Just drag and hold above the first flag layer so that it will automatically create its own group. So that's the specialty about the Hipaint. So if you are having any layer at the top or bottom and dragging another layer over that on the top of it, it will create its group. We don't need to click on the group option. So here I'm going to use the transform. In that I'm using the mesh transform and adjusting the anchor points so that it have some movie circle. Again I'm going to use the reference circle. I'm not going to use the circle which is on the previous layer because we have used the mesh option for that, so it will be like a little bit variation in that. If you try to fix that, it will be we may miss with the shape, like basic shape of that. So I didn't use that previous circle. Instead I'm using the reference circle and going to make some changes for each and every frame. Done. Awesome, it came really well. Now just duplicate that reference, drag and drop over the next frame, and then place it exactly at the center. Make sure it touches the exactly on the intersection of that colors, like this, and then use the mesh tool, make some wavy moves for this, like this. So same process again and again, and you can follow along with me. Drag, drop on that frame, it will create a group. Then using the transform, basic transform, place it like this. Then using the mesh, make some movements, like move the anchor points like this. Done. So same process, it's going to repeat. You can follow along with me. Okay, almost done for the last frame, which means the first frame of our animation. Placing it, I'm not going to change the frame shape of the first frame. Now this is how it looks, and you can see the movement. The chakra moves along with the flag. That's why we use that mesh tool. Now I want to add some glossy finish to this flag, so I'm just making all the chakra layers as a clipping layer for the flag, and above that I'm going to create another layer inside that group and make it as a add blending mode layer. And then I'm going to use, here you can see I just create a clipping layer, change blending mode to add, and using the 2B pencil brush I'm adding shading. You can use any other color as well, but for glossy finish I'm using the white color because it's a daylight. White color matches well. Where you have that top bulging curve at the top, in that position I'm going to add that shading. Here you can see, make this chakra layer as clipping layer. Above that, create a layer, it will automatically convert it into clipping layer. Then click on the add option, add blending mode, and add the shading. That's it. Again, go to the another frame, make it the chakra layer is clipping, add another layer, change the blending mode to add, and add the shading. So yeah, follow along with me, same process again and again. Now almost we're going to finish. I think this is the last frame. Now if we play, you can see how the flag glows. Wow, it came out really well. The flag moves very gracefully along with that wavy movement, also along with that glossy finish. Really good. Now I'm going to add some thread on this background layer. So background group, go to that background group, and on the top of the pole layer I'm just creating a new layer and draw two lines like a thread or rope that is connected to the flag and pole. So using the ballpoint pen brush like this on the bottom corner as well. So you have to draw where the edge of that flag meets the pole. Now switch on the lock transparent pixel and add some glowy finish to that. You can use milder shade of that or white color. Okay, done. But you can see on some frames the corners doesn't meet that rope. The corners are somewhere else and the rope looks somewhere else, so we have to fix that. So I'm going for each frame. On the first frame it touches, and here on the second frame you can see In that case, go to that frame, go to the I mean not inside that flag layer, just keep on be on that group as a whole and move it a little bit like this. As we move as a group, all the shading details as well as Ashoka Chakra all will move along with the movement so that it will not mess up, so it will be exactly on the same position we have added. Like this, you can see exactly the rope and the flag meets like this. It is on the exact position, and for this, move it like this. Now almost done. Now you can see looks good and perfect. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you learned a lot from this animation. If so, subscribe to my channel, and if you are already a subscriber, make sure you watch all of my videos to learn something new, and tag me if you have created something like similar to this or recreated this. Just tag me in Instagram. Now I'm just creating a layer, text layer, and here I'm on the group, background group, and I'm going to add text like Happy Independence Day. Actually, I just created this for the Independence Day celebration, but I don't find time to edit and voice record, so delayed. So I'm uploading it later. So happy Independence Day. So you can see the text tool is not that much comfortable compared to the text tool on IBS Pen Text, but however we can add text at least. But when it comes to Infinite Painter, there is no text tool. So yeah, having text tool in the app is really helpful. Happy, then I'm going to add Independence Day. So I want all this text to be on different size. I'm using the same font, but the size I want it to be different, so I'm just creating separate layer. Once done, when you click on that layer, it will ask for rasterize. Just click on that and it will be rasterized. And when you click on the text tool, it will create another text layer, and we have to add another text, and then we have to merge all these layers together. So I'm adding independence in a separate layer, separate text tool. Okay, now we have all added all this Happy Independence Day. You can merge all these three layers into a single layer. Just click on this text and click rasterize, then merge it with the bottom layer. Yeah, we got all the text inside a single layer. and you can move it, make it bigger or smaller, place it wherever you want. Done. Looks cool. Now, yeah, this is what exactly we want. This is a beginner level animation. You may find it silly or childish, but at a beginner level this will be very helpful for you. And for saving this, you should not go here. Just make sure you go to this option and save this as GIF, because we're going to share with our friends our GIF. Happy Independence Day wishes. And yeah, this is how it looks. Hope you learned a lot from this. If so, subscribe to my channel. Also share with your friends who want to learn animation, and if they are a beginner. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.